Hello, I'm Scotti, the rocker engineer. First thing first, I've been living in the UK for more than 1.5 decades now, but I know my accent still makes it difficult to understand what I'm saying. Occasionally, or most of the time, it's up for debate. Hence the subtitle. Now, despite many great contents available on YouTube, time and time again I face with stereotypes, half-truths, or painfully one-sided interpretations of cases when it comes to green technologies like rooftop solars, EVs, or heat pumps. Those are there to stop you from starting your own green journey. Equally, some argument for green technologies in supporting YouTube videos are just not resonating with me. I don't always feel they are encouraging enough for someone to get started with one of some project and lacking some practical guidances or tricks. I've been living with solar panels and driving an EV for more than 2.5 and 2 years respectively. So I decided to start this channel to show my numbers, the consideration I took before I decided to go for this, and the results so far. You're probably wondering, a rocker should drive a V8 car or ride a big and noisy Harley Davidson for that matter, much rather than to be an eco-warrior. Well, you kind of got a point, I can give you that. But I'm not an eco-warrior. I mean, I'm somewhat sorry for the polar bears, for sure, but I'm definitely much more concerned about my wallet. As a rocker, on the other hand, I always hated when politically or financially powerful organizations try to control my life or take advantage of me. Never mind to bear the consequences of screw-up politicians' idiotic decisions, to say the least. If you take a closer look, I think it's clear that those big energy companies, especially oil and gas, are operating on the market where the price control from healthy competition barely exists, and we are shoveling a tremendous amount of money, at least to my income, to keep our home warm, watch our TV shows, or get from A to B, and we have very limited power to change it. If you add together your electricity bill, heating bill, car fuel cost, probably that will be the biggest yearly cost of yours. We can say we are kind of slaves to the energy companies. Also, you don't need to have a memory of an elephant to remember what happened to the energy prices when Putin kicked the boozer's door open in Ukraine, right? Or when our UK Prime Minister, Miss Lettice, unleashed her economic vision on the country, which pretty soon turned out to be exactly as realistic as to believe that pink fluffy unicorns are dancing on the rainbow. For sure, this list is far from complete. Now, this is the motivation I've got to minimize my dependence, to make myself and my family's lifestyle less vulnerable to all of those above, of course, within reasons. What does that mean? Well, in my opinions, it is important to find a healthy balance between what you invest and what you get out of it. I think to go fully off-grid, including standard home electricity usage, heating and fuel for one or two cars, would require such a high investment with the current technologies reasonably usable for home installations that would take excessive time to return, if ever. In later episodes, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm a mechanical engineer too, so don't be scared. I definitely won't overload my episode with electrical engineering techie stuffs, but I have a straight mindset and I pride myself to be good on numbers. So I approach these cases like project, create some business case looking at different scenarios and put together a return on investment or payback period calculation. If the preliminary numbers show that the repayment period so long that in best case scenarios only my future grandchildren would reap the benefit from it, I'd rather walk away. Not because I'm mean or selfish, well, at least not only because of that, but bear in mind, the longer the predictable repayment period, the less certain its accuracy might never will pay for itself. It's quite straightforward, really. If I predict 50 years repayment period for anything, which has expected lifetime of 25 years, the poor thing will die halfway to the break-even point. Also, I don't know about you, but I just cannot get hold of a reliable crystal ball. Calculating the repayment period, we can only use current data, like yearly mileage, fuel price, yearly electricity or gas consumption, and current unit prices. As our lives develop, consumption figure will change, the unit price will change as well. Of course, each and every solar system salesman will tell you that unit prices only will go up. But as a matter of fact, during the last 3 years, the direction was completely the opposite. For sure, I don't try to suggest those are extremely cheap now. There are also people who are hinting that we only need increase oil and gas production on the North Sea and boom, the energy prices will decimate. Yeah, right. Well, if you believe because of that, oil and gas prices will start to fall like leaves in September and will completely decouple from the global energy market price, that's I'm afraid you got another thing coming. Anyways, I think any speculations above 5, 6 years are getting murkier and foggier. Just think about it. Your kids might start to attend a different school, so your daily mileage will change, or they live to the other end of the country for uni, and the home energy consumption will drop, or really anything. So what can you expect from the future episodes of the Scotti, the Rocker Engineers channel? I will show how to create a return on investment or repayment period calculation for solar systems, including some interesting experiences with some of the sales guys, give you info which I've never been told but I've learned about such system in a go, how to watch, and what tricks are there to make sure your predicted repayment time will actually happen, and how I could achieve that my solar system paid for itself within only 2.5 years without turning myself from a slave to an energy company to a slave of saving. Similarly with the EV, I will show you how did I come to the decision to go for it, what calculation can be done to preview if it's something for you to consider. Also, during the last 2 years, I used this car almost 100% for family journeys only and almost exclusively charged at home. For my job-related journeys, I used this red Gorgeous, zigzagging in the country from Dover to Glasgow, from Aberdeen to Pembroke, and anywhere in between. From now on, however, my red Gorgeous will take on another assignment, which leaves me my EV to fulfill my job-related trips as well. There will be interesting situation, I'm pretty sure. I will document those trips, evaluate the actual cost and compare to a diesel to see which one would have been cheaper, and at the end of the year I put together a yearly balance including both my family and my job mileages. Now these journeys won't be tests imitating real life, there's gonna be real life of mine. I also about to start a new project which is to replace my gas combi boiler with a heat pump. Again, I will show my calculations, considerations, how and when it works to do that, and if I will go for it eventually, of course, I will follow up and report back my findings. I will try to make this channel simple to understand, entertaining, but still enlightening and instructional. So, if you like the concept, feel free to subscribe. I won't begging it for all the time. Or simply mark your calendar that every Sunday morning a new episode will be released. Now, I appreciate there's a big elephant in this room here, namely if you are a tenant, you cannot install a solar system, for example, doesn't make any sense either, especially if you are on a yearly renewal contract. Your landlord quite likely won't invest in it just to make your energy bill cheaper, right? On the other hand, if you are a landlord of a house share where the bills are included in the monthly rental fee, it absolutely makes a lot of sense for you to install one. Or if you own a house without a driveway, you cannot use a home charger for your electric car, which makes the whole investment pointless. So I will be watching new technologies coming to the market, which maybe one day will provide solution for some of these current obstacles. So next week I'll be back with my solar power story and I hope you will join me. Until then, have a great time.